News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and now 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
No charges against the man who shot a pit bull dog. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. Congratulations. You made it. It's Friday, May 29th, 2015. 2015 rocketing by. We're already almost 6 months in. Beautiful, mostly clear sky in western Montana. Pretty sunrise. We have 51 degrees in Missoula right now. Our newscast sponsored by Kootenai Creek Village, the maintenance-free active adult community in Stevensville. Call 777-5387. Missoula police will not be pressing charges against a man who self-reported that he had shot a pit bull on his property in the Lower Miller Creek area Monday. The shooting occurred during a dog fight between the pit bull and the homeowner's pet boxer. Missoula Police Public Information Officer Travis Welsh has more.
Well, basically, we found much relevant information as we feel is necessary to determine that we are not pursuing any charges in this incident. It's unfortunate that a pet was killed, but there were some mitigating factors that led us to come to that conclusion. As far as we're concerned, the incident is complete.
Those factors include the location of the shooting and the notoriety of the dog that was shot.
Well, essentially that the gentleman was on his property. It seemed as though the dog has somewhat of a history of aggression in the neighborhood, to the extent that there was some local knowledge there about this particular dog. We didn't have any probable cause for any charges, and we are closing the case.
Missoula Animal Control will look into the issue to see if any city ordinances were broken. It is illegal to fire a weapon in the city, but in this case, mitigating circumstances prevented police from charging the homeowner with that violation. A man charged in a late-night stabbing at a casino at Kalispell has pleaded not guilty to attempted deliberate homicide. The Daily Interlake reports 36-year-old Justin Michael Gallery entered his plea yesterday in connection with the May 9th stabbing at the Black Angus Casino. He initially faced a less serious charge of assault with a weapon. Police found the victim lying on the ground, bleeding profusely from multiple stab wounds. As Governor Steve Bullock addressed the State of a Young Child luncheon at St. Patrick Hospital yesterday, a continuing theme emerged. After praising the many groups and individuals in attendance who had dedicated their careers to helping children, Bullock commented on the failure of the Legislature to pass his early childhood education bills in the just completed session.
I really wish I could be here saying, look at all the Legislature accomplished and how it's going to make a difference in your community. And instead, I need to go back to almost where I've been for quite a while, and where I guess I'll continue to be for at least 2 more years.
Bullock hinted that should the voters approve, he would continue to fight for early childhood education in his second term as Montana's governor.
If I'm governor during the 2017 legislative session, you can, I guess, be sure that I'll continue to be working on this and early childhood education, and that money will be in my budget.
Other speakers included Missoula Mayor John Engen and Missoula County Commissioner Gene Curtis. U.S. transportation officials are extending an order for railroads to notify states about shipments of hazardous crude oil shipments. Emergency responders had raised worries over a new rule that did away with the requirement. Trains hauling crude from the Bakken region of North Dakota and Montana have been involved in multiple fiery derailments in recent years, including a 2013 derailment that killed 47 people in Quebec. Yesterday's action revives a 2014 order for railroads to give emergency officials oil train routing and volume information to better prepare for a possible accident. The IRS reports that sophisticated cyber criminals have hacked the accounts of over 100,000 U.S. taxpayers through the Get Transcript system. Local CPA Walt Kiro told KGVO News that the theft of personal information is purely mercenary and that the stolen information is being sold most probably by Russian hackers to the highest bidder.
Their identity being stolen is going to be sold to somebody, and they're going to use that in a myriad of ways to either rip you off, appropriate your assets, or file a phony tax return in your name and social security number.
Kiro says the IRS will be contacting the individuals whose accounts have been hacked.
They will have a listing of that 100 to 110,000 people, and the IRS should, I'm not going to say they are, but they should be contacting them probably by mail as to what to do and what to go for.
Kiro says the local IRS office, even though it's severely understaffed with just one person at this time, will offer all the help it can. The office is located at 2681 Palmer Street, number 2, or call 728-9127. The parent company of the Missoulian newspaper has sued a former publisher and 4 former advertising employees, alleging they stole confidential client information from the newspaper to form a competing marketing agency. Lee Enterprises Incorporated filed the lawsuit in Missoula County District Court on Tuesday. It seeks a court order to prevent former publisher Jim McGowan and the former employees from using trade secret information. The suit also asks a judge to prevent 2 marketing companies where McGowan works from soliciting business from existing or recent customers of the Missoulian or the Montana Marketing Group. McGowan left the newspaper in March. The defendant's attorney, Bob Terrazas, told the Associated Press the complaint makes, quote, largely inaccurate accusations, end quote, against his clients. The state of Montana is in yet another legal tangle with a federal agency after new rules that threaten to clamp down on state autonomy. This week, there were many headlines about the EPA's new water regulations. But State Auditor Monica Lindeen is also in the process of suing the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, over a rule change. State Auditor and Public Information Officer Jennifer McKee explains.
Congress passed what's called the Jobs Act. And in it, there were some finer points that needed to be defined by the SEC. And the way the SEC made those definitions bumped up against our ability to regulate securities.
McKee says that the new regulations interfere with states' rights.
Montana, along with Massachusetts, sued over that, arguing that some of those definitions interfered with states' rights. It would exempt from state review certain kinds of securities offerings. That was probably the biggest sticking point. The feds would do it instead of us. We have a standard that is working very well in Montana, and that's the standard we want to keep.
The lawsuit was actually filed late in the day last Friday, but office closures over the long holiday weekend and the lack of a press release from Lindeen's office kept it from being widely known. The former director of operations for the old prison museums of Deer Lodge has been ordered to pay $136,000 in restitution for embezzling from the museums. The Montana Standard reports District Judge Kurt Kruger suspended all but 106 days of a 20-year sentence for 55-year-old Julia K. Brewer. She has served 16 days. Our News Talk time now is 6:12.
Newstalk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Mostly sunny skies today with an isolated shower. We'll keep that slight chance of showers and thunderstorms in the forecast tonight, lows dropping into the 50s. High temperatures this weekend will warm into the 80s by Sunday with isolated storms. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13.